बाबा नहीं है यार तुम्हारे कनेक्टेड वो यहाँ चेक कर
ये महीने में नहीं गया
ये ऐसे ही हट
इतना नहीं बोल जाता है
सही
हाँ
इसमें आता देख लो नया फिर लिंक कर रहे ग्रुप कर
भेजो
न्यू लिंक भेजेगा वो सर मेरे अभ्यास होगा ऑडियो बाकी जा रहा है देखो बाकी जा रहा है देखो उठोगा बात कर तुम देखो जी
बहुत सारा
आया
नहीं आया खाली आवाज
आता अब चलेगा बात करो हाय
हाँ हाँ डिले होगा
हाँ
खाली
डिले होगा आ जाना बराबर वही बच्चे हाँ हाँ पकी जाना और को बड़ा को छोड़ दो सुन ये बस ये शुरू करो जी
आता सर आता ना सर कोई नया लिंक है
मैं यार बोलिंग सुनना मैं क्या ना ब्लूटूथ में करना
हाँ अच्छा
हाँ
Audio test. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me now? I'm sorry for the delay. So finally we have something to start. Let's start the session now. Before I jump onto the topic that we have, I would like to tell you that this is not going to be a you can ask questions, right? I'm a student just like you because learning never stops till you die. That's what I mean, right? So please make sure that you understand and you follow what I'm talking about or what I'm going to show them. Let's learn together. Are we all good? Okay. If at any time you feel that the pace with which I go is too fast or too slow, please feel free to interrupt me and let me know about this. Because sometimes the vice president said, I'm just like a student like you guys, maybe just 10 years delay, right? Okay, are we all good? Okay, I still don't see the voice. Are we all good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I want this to be a more of session where you just not only learn, you also enjoy. It's not the session where usually you learn and write the notes and go, right? It's going to be a session where we will have fun while we learn, right? Okay. So let's begin the session with a quote by Albert Einstein, where he says, everyone is a genius, no one is stupid. Everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it will spend its whole life believing that it's stupid, right? So everyone is a genius, you just don't know what is your expert area is. So believe in yourself, right? With this quote, let's start the session. Good? Okay, I want the noise here, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So we're going to talk about a few things, very important things about the Excel application. We might not cover everything. It's not possible. I have been learning Excel from 12 years, and I feel maybe I am just at 20%. I have learned, and there is 80% more to learn. Right? So the Excel is an ocean for me. And also, although I have moved on from this application like 6 years back, I still love this because this is the simplest database that you will ever see, where you see the data right before your eyes without using any SQL queries, because all the other database you will have to write SQL. Everyone are good with basic programming skills and SQL, right? Because whatever I am going to show you here, I will translate this to your SQL language so that you can intermediate what is the difference. Okay? I will try to make it as easy as possible, but if it is not, I am okay to explain, because this session is only to make you learn about this, not just to cover the topics. Fine? Okay. And before I start, I would also like to tell you guys that Excel opportunity as a long term. But this application is going to be everywhere you go. If you work in a expertise in Python than me, because you already covered the syllabus. Okay. So in that aspect, let's continue with the session. Staff know, and maybe I will come there and explain to you guys about that. Fine? Okay. So let's learn some fun facts about Excel. Okay? Before we jump into this session, before we jump into the training part. According to Microsoft, in 2015 and 16, I don't know when this survey came, Microsoft claims that there are 1.2 billion people who use this Microsoft Office package. Not only Excel though, but all the other things. You have Excel. 2 billion is 16% of the world population. Imagine that's a huge number, right? 16% of the world population, in which you guys come again. 16% of the population where you might not see 40 or 50% of the population working. They might be a kid, they might be old people, right? Who are not working. So out of the 50 or 40% of the world population, 16% of them uses the Excel with MS Office. That's a huge contribution, right? So that's one fact I wanted to highlight. Okay, now I would like to ask this question. When this was Excel was introduced, I think we correct all the time. It's fine if you guess and you are wrong. I'm not going to punish you. And if you are right, I'm not going to give you the chocolate again. Right? Any guesses? Any guesses how many rows and columns would have been there when Excel was created? 4, 5, 10, 15, anything? Any guesses? Or no? Sorry? 10,000. Okay, anyone? 10 lakh is now, that's the most recent number of crores that we have. Okay. Anyone else? What
16,000 plus columns.
16,000 plus columns. Okay. When it was created, I was asking. It was created in 1983. Called as an application. At that time, the application name was VisiCalc. We will go through this. Okay. When it was created, initially the Excel was launched. We had 5 columns and 20 rows.
Okay.
So now we have 10,48,000. You can see the number there. We have 10,48,576 rows. When it was started, it had how many? 20 rows. See, the capacity with which we used to work has increased massively, right? Earlier, we never had Windows system. It was introduced only in late 1980s. Windows came into picture only in late 1980s and beginning of 1990. Before that, it was what? Black system, MS-DOS, right? So we had only 5 rows where you need to code to write these, like input that data into the 5 rows in 5 columns and 20 rows. Okay, 5 columns and 20 rows. There's going to be 5 into 20, 100 cells. 100 cells, right? We will go into those details again, but just you need to make you comfortable, right? How it has started and where it is now. Not everything will not start big, right? They will start from scratch. All the startup that we do start from very small. 16,000 plus rows. So in one sheet, we will know what we will see what is the sheet first. But in one sheet, there are 17 billion, 179 billion, and 869,184 cells available. The smallest unit available in Excel is a cell. Okay, so we have 17 billion cells there. If you take 1 second to fill that one cell, it will take 545 years to complete the entire sheet. To fill the entire sheet with information, whatever you want to enter. So it's a fact, right? It's a huge data. But at this point, this sheet is not enough to get this data, to load your data into Excel. Now we have a lot of bigger applications coming in, Power BI, Tableau, where Excel is not enough to show this data, summarize this data into some data or meaningful charts and graphs. It's not enough because it has only 1 million, and now we play with billions of rows. Right? So my average data which I play in my projects are like, average is 30 million minimum. Sorry, average. So that's a fact, right? 545 years it will take for us to fill the complete sheet, and we have n number of sheets in Excel. There is no limit. There is a possibility, like someone has tried 255 sheet, it was still. Yeah? You learned something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a video here, like this person, likes to, draw something. He's an artist, paint. We say they paint something, right? So this guy has explored, options and found an innovative way to paint or draw. He's an artist, so right. So he draws so many things using Excel application. Instead of using brush, pencil or sketch, whatever it is, he has used Excel application to draw this. Shall we watch this video quickly?
Yes, sir.
No sir, call me Khizar.
These paintings, they aren't done with a
I'm sorry if you can't hear this. We'll try. I will share this PPT with the department. They will share it with you. If you
Microsoft
cannot hear,
Excel,
go
the
and watch
computer
it.
program. This is a story about Tatsuo, the Microsoft Excel artist.
私はね、堀内達夫と言います。
Read the caption. Audio is in Chinese.
When Tatsuo retired, he decided he wanted to paint. But there was one problem. He was cheap.
始めるきっかけがね、最初から挑戦的でしたからね。パソコンでどうしたら絵描けるだろう。絵の具とかお金もいりませんね。水を持っていく必要もありませんね。
He didn't even want to pay for an art program, so he used what was already on his computer.
そういうね、ケチな ないからね、Excel がいいなと、安いデータを受けてます。
So how do you paint in Excel? The line tool, it's usually used for spreadsheet graphs. That you can make trees with. And the bucket tool, it helps with subtle shading on, for example, the crest of a volcano.
そういうことができるんだっていうのは、まあ、それ、出土とか発見って今は簡単に言ってますから。私がね、Excel で絵を描き始めたのは、2000年からなんです。目標を立てたんですよ。10年とかですね。まあ、普通に会社に耐えるんだよ。バカにする人いっぱいいるわけ。いや、簡単にこうね、してやってんだよ。バカじゃなくて、ね、バカなの。世の中だって、エクセルセルで書けてる。というのはね、なかなか売れないんじゃないのかわかりませんけどね。私のようでこれ買ってくれる人がいるとね、ありがたいんですけど。
Fine. So is this interesting? Yes. So what did he do? So he used Excel application to paint something. Like he used the simple tools that we're going to see. Maybe we will not explore everything that he has used. We will see some glimpse of it, right? So he has used Excel as an application to draw and then take the printout and then combine them and then make it as a painting. And he had, if I'm not wrong, I followed this story. He had conducted a fair, right? Like I don't know what you call that. Like you will invite people to buy that paintings. Sorry. Come on, it's fine. I mean, you don't need to be so scared about this. You can easily share. Open your mouth. So then he has opened a fair and put a kind of cap where and there will be price tag. Each painting will have some prices. He has sold too many things. At this stage, he's doing that because he's not able to do any hard work. Right. So I mean, what I wanted to show you guys with this is there are limitless opportunities. Not only with Excel. In life, you will have lots of opportunities. It's just that how you think and grab them. Think differently. Fine.
These paintings.
Right. So then, now we'll start with the main session, main trainings. Right. So these are the topics that we are going to cover in the next 2 days. We have already last half of the session. I'll try to cover as much as possible. Right. There are these topics. I'm not going through the indexes now. This is kind of a first page of the book where you find all the lessons. Right. I'm not going to bore you guys with this. Let's get practical and learn together. Fine. Okay. First, let me give some introduction. I think most of the things are already covered with the sir in seminar hall. But I'll come to this point actually. So, in 1978, from Harvard Business School student Dan Ricklin developed a program called as VisiCalc. This was the first name of this application. It was a small program of 5 columns and how many rows? 20 rows, so 100 cells per there. Then in 1983, there was a competitive application against this VisiCalc, which was launched. It was called as Lotus 123. Have any one of you heard about Lotus 123? Okay, I have used it once in 2013 when I joined TCS. Lotus Note was owned by IBM. IBM and Microsoft has been competitor for very, very long time. Right? Now he has given up, IBM has given up, and he's mainly focusing on storage. So it was initially launched. It was very successful against VisiCalc. It was in MS-DOS, but when Excel came, it came back in 1988, if I'm not wrong, 1985. So it lost its fame, popularity, and then Excel has, never looked back since. There are companies who are still using Lotus Notes 123 because it is free. There is no subscription as such. It's open source. But 98% of the organization are using Excel or MS Office as a package, even though it is subscription based. because it is so hugely popular and easy to use. Okay. Then, this multiply, they redistributed in 1985, and in 1987, first Windows version was created. So before that, it was in MS-DOS, blue or black screen. And then that's when Lotus Notes went behind, and Excel became the #1 spreadsheet database. Now, so what is Excel? It's a spreadsheet application, right? So why do we use it? Can anyone tell me what are the different applications of using Excel? Just anything. It might be wrong, it might be right. Calculations, good. Yes?
Use as database.
Sorry?
To use as database.
To use as database, yes, right. And
Data analysis.
data analysis, very good. Don't look at here, just look at. Sorry?
We can also paint with it.
Yeah, we can also paint with this, yes. And reporting, you might see your colleagues or someone, if someone is doing part-time job. I used to do part-time job in Excel again. I will have to create reports and submit maybe charts, graph, some kind of thing we used to do. So we'll create reports, right? Okay, we'll come back to this thing. So Excel is a spreadsheet developed by Microsoft. Its features are calculation, graphs, pivot tables. That's very important. If you are, I have seen my colleagues, my friends from my batch, 2010 batch. Not everyone will become developers, right? Some will become they will be joining some companies and they will become a team leads. I feel myself, I'm not a management material. I will never be a manager, good manager. So I feel like I'm good. Go work 8 hours a day, do your work and get out. That's it. Your tension is over. For your manager or team member, it's always like you'll be responsible for your team members' work as well. I feel that I'm not there yet. Anyways, so you do all these things, right? Pivot tables. You also have VBA there. So mainly there are 4 types of things that we do in Excel. Storing data, right? Someone said database, right? So what is database? Somewhere we store data. So spreadsheet, we have already seen that it's going to be doing some calculations, storing some data there. That's one. Then calculations. If you want to do some minimum, maximum, those things, it's very easy to do it in Excel. Data analysis. Can someone tell me the definition of data analysis? What is data analysis? I mean, you might have had this subject of SQL, right? What do you do with SQL? Fetching data, right? What else do you do? Maybe in your, do you all already had this SQL subject?
Yes,
Everyone?
yes.
Or is it something different for different people? Everyone would have already used SQL, right? You might have created a student table, class table, right? Everyone. So what do? We just join data and understand which student, how many number of students has passed, those things, right? So it's analysis, that's the analysis. Just playing around with your data and come to a conclusion based on your requirements. That. And reporting, as I said, you will put some tables, charts, and these are the 4 main functions, applications of the Excel spreadsheet. Now coming to the basic first thing of the this lesson, we will now jump to the application part and understand what are the different things that are available in Excel. Okay, theories are done. Let's jump back. Are we all ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. People who have laptop, open the Excel application if you have, and follow what I'm doing and see if you can see that. Okay? I'll jump back here. So this is the application that I've opened. The UI of the Excel has, at the top you have a title bar as any other application, right? Every application will have the same thing. Top at the title bar, right hand side will have minimize, maximize. These are like, for computer science students, this is like bread and butter. You don't need to teach me this, I know this already. Right? So this is a menu tab, toolbar. It used to be toolbar before 2007, and now it is a tab. Each tab will have its related tools. So home will have related tools, insert, page related tools, formulas. These are all tools tabs. And then down below we have the different tools that is available in Excel. Okay, and each tool, if you observe closely, is segregated. It's grouped based on its functionality. So you will have a clipboard group, you will have a font group. So this font group, what it does, it has grouped all the tools that Excel contains together in this group, font. So we will have a font name, size. These are all font attributes or properties, right? You can increase the size of this, decrease, and then the color of the cell, color of the font, the borders, all these things. So there is a group. And then when you come down, you also have, this is called as name box. You can see that there is a hint giving, right? Name box. Where whatever the cell that you are selecting, it will give you the cell address or name of that cell. That's a name box. Fine? Everyone is getting? Yes, sir. Okay. Then you will have a formula bar. It's not like every time you're going to enter details, data. You might sometimes calculate something. For example, you will have exam marks by each subject. You want to see what is the total. That's a simple sum calculation, right? So those calculations will come here. You will see the formulas being displayed there. So we'll call this as a formula bar. Good? Okay. You can expand this formula bar by this button. You can also resize it. All those things. Then you will have the main sheet. This is the worksheet area where you're going to play around with your data. So it starts with, so each the smallest unit of an Excel application is a cell. So each of this rectangle shaped thing that you see here is a cell. So wherever you point your mouse cursor to, you see that cell name is changed in the name box, right? So it is E4, now it is D16, now it is D21. It changes every time you click a different cell. So it gives you the name of that cell. So in your programming language, we will have variables named, right? Some test variable, myvar, whatever, general name, temp var, all those things. So that is similar to this, but it is here fixed. The name of the cell is going to be V1. In any application you open, it will be same. Then, what is this A and what is this A1, 2, 3? So in Excel, you name your columns. This is your column, right? Vertical line. In Excel, your columns are named in alphabets, ABC, and row numbers are in numbers. Rows are in numbers. So how do you come with A1? So cell address, the address of a cell is named by column name and row number. You see, whenever you highlight a cell or select a cell, that particular column is highlighted and row is highlighted. Getting it? So if you select, what happens if you select multiple cells? You see those columns and rows are highlighted. Right? Are you getting? Right. No sir again. Khizr. Okay, so you have this name. You all understood? Column name and row number. Clear? Yes. Now if I ask you what is this cell name, you have to give me without looking at here. Okay? Sure? Yes. Okay. How do I write it? I don't know. Okay, now tell me. I'm going to move my cursor. You are going to maybe I'll pick you if you don't start. You don't answer it. So someone answer it faster. What is the cell? Sorry. What is the cell? I'm holding my cursor here. Here. It's Q. Q? 24. Yeah? What is this?
90.
Sorry? U19. Column name, row number. So while naming a cell, column name name comes first, alphabet comes first, and then the roll number. Clear? You guys are brilliant here, seriously. I have taken classes where I took 1 hour to teach the cell references. I'm happy that you guys are brilliant. Okay, good. So now we will see more about this once the cell reference and all. Now let's continue with this UI introduction. So down below you have this all this scroll bars. I don't want to bore you guys with this. But anyways, you scroll down, you will get more cells. It goes up to 10,48,000 rows and 16,634 cells. It goes like AA. So you have ABCD, right? And then after Z it starts with AA. And then after AZ starts with BA. After BZ it starts with CA. So it goes like that. And then after ZZ it's going to be start with ZZA. So ZZB. Like that it goes up to XFD, which is 16,634. It's a multiple of 2. You will calculate it later. You can calculate it later. Okay. You have a scroll bar here. This is a vertical scroll bar to move down the rows. This is a horizontal scroll bar where you move across the window. Right? This is down, this is across. Then you have worksheet name. So by default, any Excel application you might see 3 worksheets: sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Someone has changed the system settings here, so there it is by default as only 1 sheet. But it usually will have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. You can add sheets here by clicking on this new sheet button. You can see the plus button here. So to add sheets. And this is a status bar. It will show what is the status of your Excel application. So it's currently ready. I don't know what it is ready for. It is ready. So it will be more visible when you start using VBA. So you can change the status if you use VBA. We will see some examples tomorrow. So and then you have some views here: page layout, page break view. You can zoom in and zoom out like this content, right? If I have some content and if it is too small, at this 100%, it will be maybe sometimes it is smaller for you. You might not be able to see this. So you can zoom in to see this content. Right? This is a simple zoom model. Fine. So that's the interface, Excel interface, user interface. Okay? So whatever the topic that we have here, after every topic, so I have named it lessons because we are all students here. So we will go with the lesson phrase. So every end of the session, every end of the lesson, I'm going to ask questions about the previous lesson. I'm not going to continue unless you guys understand. Fine? So be prepared, be focused here, and let's go with the cell reference. So what is the cell reference? So name of the cell is called as your cell reference. So we already know that the cell reference is named. So the name of a cell is named by column name and row number, right? So it is F54 because the column name is F and row number is 54. Okay? So that is a cell reference. Now there are 2 types of cell references. One is relative cell reference. Another one is fixed cell reference or absolute cell reference. So what is these 2 different things? We know why are you complicating this? It's already easy, right? It's row number, the column name and row number. Why are you complicating it? Because there are applications of this two different types of cell references. We will see both of this. Okay. Suppose, let's say you have some data. Let me copy this. Fine. So let's say maybe we have this data. We had this some pre-assessment score. So usually in corporate life, we will always have this kind of sessions. If you are getting trained on some thing, so I got trained on various topics. So before we start this learning session, they will conduct a test to assess what's your current. What you already know about this. So let's say this is a pre-assessment score I have conducted for you guys, and maybe got the score of these. So I have scored very poorly because I'm bad in Excel. Okay, let's say suppose. So this is the score. Now, what do you want to do? You want to maybe calculate a percentage. How much percentage does these people have scored? So now maybe the maximum marks are 75. Okay. Not 100. Just to complicate this further, let me give you this as 7 number. Okay. Now how do you calculate percentage? Sorry. Go ahead. It's a simple calculation, guys. Your marks divided by not total divided by your marks divided by your total score. This is your percentage. I have scored very poorly. I feel bad about it. Let's increase it to 50. Okay. I have scored 9%. Okay. This is before the Excel training. Let's assume that I was very bad when I started getting this training. So now, if I want to copy this, I will just copy and paste. What happened? There is an error. Why? We will see that. Now, with this example, we will understand what is the cell reference. Okay? I have created this error by choice. This is not something new. I know why this error comes. So what happens? So whenever you have a formula, you see that formula definition. So you will always see the result value outside. But if you want to see the formula inside, you will have to go to that cell, click there, and see what is the formula in the formula bar. Okay? So if you want to see this in formula bar, you want to see this in cell, you can double click. You can double click, and double click will give you the formula inside the cell. But outside, it will give you the result of the formula. Fine? You getting it? So double clicking it also highlights what are the two cells I have selected. Sorry guys, there is a 5 minutes delay. The people in lab B and A are not able to hear the audio. So just give 2-3 minutes. We will set up that. Then we will continue the session. Good? Okay, sorry for that.
प्ले करो
नहीं सर वही पे कनेक्ट है सर लाइन अटका दो
बराबर से जावेद बड़ा अच्छा जावेद वो ये ना बड़ा
लाइन अटका लाइन वही पे मैं सर्च करना स्लो हूं
देखो हेलो 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 वीडियो की दिक्कत है इसमें क्या मैं क्या था तो जब छोड़ो हेलो हेलो चलो ये खड़ा पापा इसमें डाल जिसमें वाइट खड़ा जिसमें वाइट ना चले 이거 स्लो होता है ना, लगा लेंगे अच्छे लगा देंगे, लगा बन देंगे हिंदी की वीडियो
जी जी
देखो प्रोजेक्ट हलानी खास पढ़े ना इधर इधर एक ही तरफ बैठा ना प्रोजेक्ट हलानी बेटा स्क्रीन क्लोज एंड